On October 25th, 2023, the Enemy Alien Files exhibit traveled to San Antonio, Texas to participate in the 2023 Crystal City Pilgrimage. National Japanese American Historical Society staff Miles Ginoza and project manager and co-creator of the Enemy Alien Files exhibit, Grace Shimizu, made the over 1,700-mile trek to put up the display for the Crystal City pilgrims to learn from. Marking the 75th anniversary of the camp's closure, this year's Crystal City Pilgrimage's theme, Reaching Across Barbed Wire Fences, highlighted the relationships that the Pilgrimage Committee and the Crystal City community had strengthened in between the 2019 pilgrimage and this year's pilgrimage, as co-chair Carissa Tom explains.
Welcome to the second official Crystal City Pilgrimage. Woohoo! In 2020, we formed the Crystal City Pilgrimage Committee, the educational 501c3 organization, to centralize the work of organizing pilgrimages and to preserve the history of the Crystal City Family Internment Camp and those that were interned there. Additionally, we've been able to build our relationships with the community of Crystal City and Zavala County. And on Saturday, tomorrow, we will see the results of their independent and collaborative efforts to uplift and share the story of Crystal City Internment Camp.
Education coordinator for the National Japanese American Historical Society, Dr. Grace Morizawa, whose parents were incarcerated at the Hart Mountain World War II confinement site, chaired one of the sessions called Understanding World War II Imprisonment and Crystal City Internment Camp.
I hope some of you at least had a chance to look at the exhibit, because our charge today is to share a little historical and personal information of the World War II imprisonment and the Crystal City Family Internment.
The panel emphasized the historical fact of the Crystal City camp that the enemy alien incarcerees came from various places, like the WRA camps for the U.S. citizen renunciants, like Hiroshi Shimizu's family, Japanese Latin incarcerees, like Victor Uno's father, and Kaz Naganuma and his family, and German and Italian enemy aliens like that of German-American camp survivor Trudy Werner. To get a feeling of what befallen the incarcerees from the Latin American countries at the Crystal City camp, Kaz Naganuma, active member of the committee, camp survivor, and designer of the Enemy Alien Files exhibit, shared a bit of his family's experience from Peru.
Our family was abruptly interrupted and kidnapped in 1944. My father's 20-year life in Peru before was totally disrupted, turned upside down. The FBI came to our home and arrested us. My father was given 3 days to pack up the family, any belongings that he could take, to board a ship to an unknown destination.
Then at Crystal City, George and Edison and my family shared a duplex, so we were next door neighbors.
There was some sense of shame and guilt over what had happened. And so those feelings were also in our family.
The Enemy Alien Files exhibit moved many of the incarcerees to recount some of their feelings of that time, like Maurice Yamasato, who was removed from Peru with his family to the Crystal City camp. After leaving Crystal City, they moved to Kauai, Hawaii, but were still labeled as enemy aliens.
We were classified as illegal alien. I was classified illegal alien. And on Kauai, we had to spend money to fly over to Honolulu every year to be fingerprinted and considered illegal alien. And, you know, I always wondered why us, but injustice done.
Maurice's wife Jean commented about the Enemy Alien Files exhibit.
I thought it was interesting that the German and Italians were written about, I don't remember reading so much about them before.
Trudy Werner, a German-American Crystal City incarceree, came to Crystal City with her German immigrant parents at the age of 4 and spent time there from 1943 to 1946. She recounts some of those times.
For our parents, well, they were not exactly happy, but they bent over backwards trying to make us kids happy and have a normal experience. And looking back on it, when I think about my childhood, probably those years were the happiest for me because we were living in a community where everybody was in the same boat. And we kids, I think we all got along in the German school, and well, later they gave us English instruction. And it was only later, after we were released into the world, where Germans were considered the enemy and were not always treated very well, that our eyes were open to a whole different world. And it wasn't always very nice.
The highlights of the 2023 Crystal City pilgrimage, according to Trudy and many others, was the Crystal City Swimming Pool Memorial and nearby street dedication to two 10-year-old Japanese-Peruvian girls, Aiko Oyakawa and Sachiko Tanabe, who tragically drowned in the Crystal City camp pool in 1944. Trudy appreciated the feeling of inclusivity of the Germans and Italians' Crystal City story through the Enemy Alien Files exhibit.
Well, I appreciate that. I mean, it's become more than just a Japanese pilgrimage. You have included Germans and Italians in the writings that you have put out, and I think that's good.
Trudy sums up the need to educate future generations and for the pilgrimage and exhibits like the Enemy Alien Files.
That situation was just unforgivable, really, and on so many levels. And I hope our government and our leaders in the future will maybe know a little better than to react in that kind of fashion.